Hey guys, it's Lauren from Rustic Honey, and today I am putting all of the Christmas touches throughout our farmhouse. I hope you'll come along and decorate with me for this very special season. Alright, in today's video I'm going to be moving throughout our farmhouse, but I thought I would start here in the living room where I've had this chalkboard hanging here that is from our wedding. As you can see, it says Moran, and it's been halfway erased for I don't even know how many months, and I thought I was going to do something very creative and I haven't still, so here we are. I just thought I would smudge it up a little bit more and add a wreath for a nice festive touch behind my Christmas tree. The thing I love about chalkboards is you can't go wrong. Like, when in doubt, just smudge it up a little bit more. And I don't really personally even like chalk pens much because I just have always felt more comfortable with chalk. So it worked out here. Obviously this is a little easy DIY, but I've had this frame for a long time. I have some ribbon also left over from our wedding over a decade ago, but that back stock of ribbon sure comes in handy around here if you've been watching my channel for a while. I liked this kind of a deeper gold color. It kind of ties in with the frame there. And I had just a regular old wreath from, I'm sure it was from Walmart. My thought was that I would also trim some fresh cedar branches or something and stuff it in there to make it look a little bit more fresh as we get closer to the holiday, but I still haven't done that either. So right now it looks pretty cute on its own, but in the next couple weeks as we get closer to Christmas, I might just have to do that. And if I do, I will do my best to take a video of it for you guys. But this is just a pretty easy little thing to do. If you have a chalkboard lying around, it creates a nice little focal point, and I thought it would be perfect behind our Christmas tree. Alright, so the next step in the living room would have been to put the Christmas tree up, but at the time of this filming, I thought I might find a new Christmas tree to purchase, but spoiler alert, I did not find anything that I felt like I really wanted, at least not for the price that I could find them at. So that is still to be determined. Maybe after Christmas I'll hit up a sale or something. But in the meantime, we're going to move on to the dining room. And on this table, I'm just kind of cleaning as I go because I don't know about you. It would be perfect to have a whole Saturday or something devoted to deep cleaning before I start decorating for Christmas. At least that's what in my heart I feel like is going to happen. But in reality, it never turns out that way. So I'm just dusting and cleaning the little nooks and crannies as I go, trying to get a little bit of deeper, some of that deeper cleaning done, but it'll be what it'll be. I wanted to have our nativity set out as the focal point on our dining room table where we gather every single day at some point in the day, just to have the reason for the season at the center of our family meals. So, I have 3 little ones. If you're new to this channel, I have 3 little ones, and it's important to us, of course, to have them understand what the meaning of the season is. So to have this nativity set there is special to me. I'm not in love with the basket that I chose, but I wanted to put it inside of something so it's easy to move, because again, we do eat at this table and I have little kids. So it's nice to be able to move the centerpiece really easily out of the center of the table while we're eating, move it off to the side. And then replace it afterwards without having to move around a ton of lights and candles and things. So it kind of just condenses all of it together. I did have to go back and clean these glass bell jars too, because they had fingerprints all over them, probably from last year. My toddler really likes to mess with these, but luckily, knock on wood, nothing has broken yet. But I thought I'd added some of the pretty little glitter brush trees that I have and some twinkle lights at the bottom. And just to set it all off at night, I added the battery taper candles that I bought last year. I think I linked those at Christmas time last year. I'll try to find the link again and add it to the description box because I love them and I would totally buy them again. I'm actually thinking about getting a second set just because I love them so much. Basically throughout any of the winter months when you have candles on, it's just so cozy at night. And I wanted to add a few more lights at the bottom, so I added these fairy lights, and I could not decide how I wanted to finish the bottom of the basket. Part of me wanted to put in the little sprigs of greenery, but then I didn't like the way it necessarily looked with the white brush trees. So I ended up finding this piece of tulle that I had upstairs in my fabric stash. Again, the things that come in handy. If you're a stasher of fabric and ribbon like I am, let me know in the comments below. Every time I don't de-stash stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's so nice. I already had that here and I didn't have to go shopping. So I can't say I'm in love with the way that it looks, but at night it kind of just makes the fairy lights a little bit more subtle, like snow or something. It's just nice and calming. So it works. It covers the bottom of the basket and gives it a little bit of added texture and volume around the trees and the candles, which I liked. And my youngest had to take off the glass covers, of course, to pet the animals. And then we can put them back. So pray for us that these don't get broken before Christmas. And directly above the dining room table and the nativity, I thought it would be nice to do something simple on the chandelier. And I have this little spriggy garland I've had for years. I think I got it for my birthday. It's probably from Hobby Lobby a few years ago. But it's like the perfect size to just toss over things. It's been perfect on my mantle for just a small little hit of greenery or on my kitchen shelves, but it fits really nicely around the chandelier here, and I didn't even have to really fasten it with anything, just moving around those branches until I had them where I want them. Okay, and then connecting our dining room to our living room, we have an open fireplace, or two-sided fireplace. I don't know what exactly the technical term is off the top of my head, but I've been wanting a mirror for this, and stay tuned because I actually found something and I'm really in love with it, so stay tuned to the end. But for now, during the filming here, I just have this frame up that I had for Halloween. I just like the kind of vintage feel of it, and then I had a cute little Santa Claus collection print that I had thrifted for like $2 this summer, and I just kind of had it in my Christmas stash waiting to come out. One of those Christmas in July purchases that I knew I would appreciate later on. And then again, the taper candles. And then these little houses are from Target last year. They may still have some, but they have a little candle inside of each one, or a little battery powered candle inside of each one. But I thought they were perfect on the mantle. I used them in my kitchen last year, and I'll also link up last year's decorating video too, because I did things a lot differently. I like to switch it up. I often don't buy new decor, but I put it in different places in my house on the regular so that it feels new. And one thing I do like to buy every year, or at least every other year, are the little craft things they have at Hobby Lobby for like $2. They keep my kids busy forever, and they love making those things. They ask for them every year. One year I even did a Christmas countdown, like an advent calendar, and on maybe every 5 days I would have them open a present that was under the tree, and the present would be like a new craft project from Hobby Lobby. So it was a really inexpensive but exciting way to do a countdown. So I know a lot of people do books, but even the thought of 25 new books in my house sometimes seems like a lot. Whereas you could kind of trickle in some craft projects too and recycle them, a couple months after Christmas. Be great. So anyway, moving on to the kitchen, just another idea for you. I didn't do a whole lot in here. I just wanted to freshen up the shelves a little bit, move things around, again, kind of dust as I went. But I always want my kitchen to feel super cozy because I am a baker and I want to be in my kitchen at Christmas time. I want to enjoy making sugar cookies with my kids. And if I could just make my whole kitchen feel like Mrs. Claus's kitchen, then that's what I would do. The sign at the top is an old sign that I thrifted a really long time ago. I have no idea what it was. It's just a really old piece of wood, but I loved the chippy paint on it. And then somebody had painted a 25 on it, which just made me think Christmas. I guess it's not even really a Christmas sign, but to me it is. So. And then a lot of the decor that I leave on the shelves is not decor at all. It's just the functional pieces that I use, like my weight scale, which I'm cleaning here because I have not deep cleaned it since summertime, and I'm pretty sure there was like splashes of tomatoes on it from canning. But just signs of the season that we're in. If we're busy, I'm not worried about those little splashes until Christmas time. And here we are. So for the centerpiece, again, I like to keep it pretty simple because our island is kind of a catch-all in the kitchen. So if I finish a day and this is all that's on the island, we are winning at life. But right now I can tell you there's mail on my counter plus this, but I thought it was really cute to add this little charger. And I have this little marble plate, which is super heavy, that I sit my candle on. And then I just added a simple wreath. I think these were less than $5 easily at Hobby Lobby last year. So apparently this is all Hobby Lobby stuff. I feel like I don't buy a ton of stuff every year. I actually don't know that I bought maybe but 2 things when I was there this year, but I just add things that I love or classic pieces I know I can use every year or in different ways. And that just kind of helps build up my own inventory of Christmas decor without going crazy every year. I feel like we spend enough on Christmas as it is without going overboard at places like that. Again, those are the same wreaths here that you saw on the candle. So they work great for different things. I actually bought these thinking I would put them on all my windows, but they didn't quite fit right. So I decided again this year, I think I did this last year too, to just tape them to the back sides of my cupboard. And I just like the way it adds a little extra touch to it. I will say the hardest part was getting them even and then getting the bows to match. So don't judge me because they're still not perfect, but this is Rustic Honey. We like to keep it a little rough around the edges. That's why everything's rustic. It's all good. And I like to add my little red cookbooks in the kitchen too, just to get those extra pops of red. This year, I was probably most excited about adding garland around my windows. I have these really big garlands with a white flocking, and I usually add them to my staircase, and I don't know why I never have thought to put them over my kitchen sink. I have 2 big kitchen windows, as you'll see. And the video here is not great because that idea with the curtain rod did not work well for me at all because the garlands were so heavy. So my husband ended up adding some eye hooks to the top of my window trim to hold these in with floral wire. But it is so magical lit up at night. The videos don't do it justice, but it's just the coziest thing ever. I actually did a happy dance. It was my favorite part. Okay, fast forward a few days, I had my husband bring up our incredibly heavy old Christmas tree. There's nothing wrong with my Christmas tree once it's all put together. The reason we want to get a new one is because, well, it's really, really old. It's one of the ones you have to put in every single branch, but the base is actually broken, so it's like drilled into this huge block of wood that is incredibly heavy and awkward to move around. So, and then it also is kind of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa by the time you get to Christmas time because the kids have pulled on it. It's a little bit awkward, but this is how I dress up a little Charlie Brown tree, even though this one's pretty full. I don't know if you can call it Charlie Brown, but I like to buy, I haven't bought actually pine cones in a really long time. I've had those pine cones forever, and I keep them in a box every year, and I think stuffing pine cones in there helps a lot with the volume of your tree, and also taking your Christmas lights and trying to wrap all of the branches or get as many lights on the tree as possible is usually how I roll, and hope that none of them go out because that's usually also my luck. But I like to buy the sprigs as you're seeing here. I just have a collection of different ones that I've invested in over the years or that have been gifted to me, and they all seem to blend really well together once it all comes together. I just kind of have to be careful about where I place them on the tree and not to get too many in one spot. To kind of balance it out. So I do some of the white in there to add a little bit of the frosty look, the pine cones, and then I have a lot of gold pieces, so some little glittery ones. I will say Hobby Lobby is a great place to find these. Again, I feel like I'm mentioning them every 5 seconds, but that is just where a lot of these things came from. But Walmart also, the glittery ones I showed earlier, those were inexpensive at Walmart and great filler. So if you're looking for something on the cheap, these are the ones that are from Walmart. I feel like the greenery is a little more fake looking, but once you stuff it into the tree, all you really see, especially at night, is those gold glittery pieces. So that is a great filler on the cheap as well. Another nice thing is it really doesn't take much talent to just stuff a few sprigs into the tree, but it really dresses it up and makes it look like you know what you're doing. All right, to finish up my tree, I have some simple gold like plastic bulbs, totally kid friendly. I think these were from Target, and I'm gonna add those, and I'm also gonna add these old vintage, I will call them vintage at this point. They were beads that my mom had when I was a kid, and she found them all for me, and I think I used these last year, and I'm just in love with them again. So we're gonna dress up the tree. I will say the beads are the hardest part of this entire thing. It's not hard, it's just time consuming because I swag them all the way around the tree, kind of draping them. And then in between each drape, I try to make it off-centered on each one. So it's not hard, but it seems like as the drapes get bigger, it gets a little bit more tedious. And you might also notice here that I am starting to show a little bit in this video. Yes, we are expecting, and we're expecting baby number 4 next spring. We are really excited, probably slightly terrified as well, but we will have a full house, and we're very excited. We're very blessed. So it's kind of makes Christmas even more special this year in my heart, making a home and making everything cozy while also having the privilege of being pregnant again. So anyway, that was a side note, but I thought I would announce it here. I feel like I have not been very good about announcing my pregnancy. I don't know if it's just our 4th kid and we've been so busy. But anyway, surprise. I just thought I would share that while we're decorating the tree here today together. But back to these iridescent beads. As you can see, I'm trying to get them, each swag to come up in the middle of the next one. And it's just kind of, as you get to the bottom, it's a little bit more tedious. And then I went back and added all of the little gold balls to the tree. I ran out of the hooks, but I'm sure you know this trick, but use some paper clips. I hate running out to the store when I run out of things or not finishing decorating in the middle of what I have going on. So you could also, of course, like do twine or ribbon, of course, but the paper clip trick is just the easiest thing. We do have to stop decorating every once in a while just to, I don't know, play robbers and cowboys or something. I don't really know what we're doing, but my kids wanted me to tie them up to these chairs. So with a little bit of, knotted up twine and some cranberry strings here, we just made their day. So here's a little finished look at the tree, and it looks beautiful at night because the little iridescent beads really catch all of the light and the whole thing kind of twinkles along with the lights. It's very pretty at night. I might have to try to get another video at night for you guys, but some of the beads have been a little bit rearranged by my children, but for the most part, it has stayed pretty good. Here's a few last looks at how it came together. I also wanted to mention that the recipe I shared in the last video I'm adding to my blog, rustichoney.com. So I am putting some new measurements up there for you guys in cups instead of grams. So be sure to head over there and snag that recipe. And if you were curious, my kids did not stay tied up for very long. They thought they were pretty clever, but had a good time decorating with Mom today and being ornery along the way. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. We'll be back here again soon.